this is one of the things you need to determine. What drives you will shape your life. You know, we talk about rat race, right? And there are persons who are just after the money. To gain more money and more money and more money is what drives them. So it's no longer to be rid of bills or debts. It's to have more money. Because if when you get the money, you end up with the same debts that keep growing. And the debts are not diminishing. What drives you? It will shape your life. Come back to the T word.
Can I say something?
Yes?
Since you started with God, you have to mention to them that they have to have a relationship with God. Because have a relationship with God, God will give you the detail while you're here.
Well,
and without that spiritual relationship, you will have to have the insight. You will get an insight of why you're here if you develop your relationship with God.
Let me put you to the test.
Go ahead, sir.
You have a relationship with your sister?
No, I don't.
You really?
No, I don't. I don't have a relationship with
I wanted to repeat that.
Okay.
You have a relationship with her?
No, I don't. And you talk about physical?
No.
Because physical, I don't have a relationship with her.
Not physically.
No.
I'm asking the question, I'm not qualifying it.
Okay.
You have a relationship with her?
Not physically.
You have a relationship with her?
So, no, I go spiritually with you, but not physically.
Yeah,
Because it's
I'm
spiritual.
not qualifying it.
Okay. No.
Do you have a relationship with her?
No.
Do you have a relationship with her? You do. Do you have a relationship with her? Is there a difference between the relationship you have with her? Is there a difference in the kind of relationship you have? Is certain?
Yes.
There has to be. We don't relate to people on the same level.
That's true.
But guess what? Same thing happens with God. We can have a relationship with God. A superficial relationship with God. And if we have a superficial relationship with God, guess what? Nothing that you just said to me would happen. So the quality of the relationship we have with God is what will determine the outcome of these things. That's why I was asking. I wasn't trying to put you on the spot.
No.
Okay?
I'm here to learn.
Okay. So part of the thing is, yes, God, if we, again, we start with God, and we are going to end with God. If you start with God, God will accompany you along the path. He promised never to leave us nor forsake us. That doesn't mean that we promise never to leave God nor forsake God. God promises us that. And often enough, we refuse to hang with God and go about our business and do things in our own strength and mess up. But the quality of the relationship we have with God will determine what the outcome is.
And saw in the Bible, you just said that. And when Saul left God, that's why God left him.
Okay. But I still don't believe God left Saul.
No, Saul left God.
No, I know. Hear me. You see, even when Saul left God, God never left Saul.
Right.
And that is why God provided David to take care of Saul's family.
Correct.
Okay. So you need to trust in order to live. True or false? True or false? You have to trust in order to live.
Yes, you do.
You have to trust somebody.
Yes, you do. You can't win a business battle
Right?
with nobody.
You have to trust. If you can't trust, if you have issues around trust, then you have issues around meaning. Only when you trust will you find meaning. In relationships that you have, whether it be relationship with money, relationship with other human beings, relationship with institutions or organizations, only when you trust will you find meaning. Only with meaning will you, I see the R there on your. I see your. Only with meaning will your life have significance. In order for your life to have significance, you have to have meaning. And in order to have meaning, you have to trust. And to trust, you have to what? Huh? Risk. You have to risk the safe places where you are. The places where you feel safe as. If you stay there, you'll never discover what it feels like to be here. If you stay put, if you settle, you'll never discover what is yet to be conquered. So trusting involves risking. If you risk your future with God, you trust God, you're risking your future on God. You know that? But remember what I said earlier on that Tony Robbins said, right? We only do things when we have absolute certainty. So it will take a certain kind of belief in God to make us risk trust in God. To risk handing over our lives to God, handing over our plans to God, handing over our destinies to God.
That's why we go to sleep.
Is that right?
That's why we go to sleep.
Well, we go to sleep.
Knowing that we're going to wake up.
Well, some of us don't know that.
When you put a risk on your life, that because when you sleep, you're as if you're in a coma. Right? And you're taking a chance that you're going to wake up tomorrow morning, so you lay out your clothes.
Well, this is how I risk my life in the midst of sleep. If I die before I wake,
but we don't have control of sleep. It's a natural stuff that happens. You can sit here and say, I'm never going to go to sleep. And then somebody come and discover your eyes are closed, you're dead.
oh, you're not really sleeping. Don't you say that? Oh, I'm not really sleeping.
Right, you say that, but you
And you could be snoring your nose off.
You have no control of that. That is something.
I'm not sleeping. I'm not sleeping. I'm awake, but you are really muttering some snoring there that could shake the world.